Quora may not have the most ad formats for a paid media channel, but they do have some very specific guidelines and restrictions on what you can and cannot do within the ad itself. So in this video, we will cover the creatives that you will need if you want to use images within your ads, as well as the ad copy guidelines so you know what you can and cannot do. Now, I probably made it seem like it's very limiting, but that's also not the case. So we'll go over some tips and tricks on what we used within our Quora ads for our clients that have seen some great success. I am in the Quora ads interface, and if you look at the blue bar on top, we see that we're in step 3, actually creating an ad. So I've already gone through the campaign and ad set creation process. We're not going to cover that in this video. And this is going to be exactly what you see when you go in to create a new ad. Since this is a business account, they've already pulled my business name within the creative. We see it says Paid Media Pros, and then if we look to the preview off to the right, we see it's already there on the top of the ad. Now going back to that middle column, we see the format. There are 3 formats: image ads, text ads, and promote and answer. I am not going to cover promote and answer ad formats in this video for 2 reasons. One, it's the least common ad format. And if you're just starting off with Quora ads, odds are it's the format that you're not going to be using right away. And 2, we already created a video about promote and answer campaigns. And that video covers everything about what promote and answer campaigns are and how you can use that particular ad format within your marketing strategies. So again, check out that video if you want to learn more about promoting an answer on Quora. So the 2 remaining formats, text ads and image ads, these are going to be the main 2 ad formats you use within Quora. We see image ad is going to be the default one highlighted, and that is the ad format I highly recommend using. But I'm going to start with text ads. That's going to be the most simple ad format that you can run. After I clicked on text ad, if you notice within the preview off to the right, a few spaces that are reserved for images disappeared. It says there right in the description. It's an ad showing just text, no images. If we scroll down to where we can start optimizing the creative, I already said the business name was filled in, so then we can jump to the headline. Headlines in Quora can be 65 characters long. I went up and I copied the tagline from our website, and I'm just going to paste it in here. Now I pulled this tagline as our headline for a reason, because this headline violates 2 rules within Quora ads. The first one is called out. Even though I've been calling them headlines, you see Quora calls them headline sentence. So there needs to be some sort of punctuation at the end of your headline, whether you use a question mark to kind of blend in with the format of Quora, a period, or an exclamation point. We see over here, Quora has a suggestion. And in their suggestion, they just want a period at the end of that last word. So if I accept it, we saw my character count went from 10 remaining to 9 remaining. So it will count towards your total, but it has to be there. And even though it's not getting flagged, most likely this ad will get disapproved after I submit it. That is because my headline is using title casing. In title casing, every main word within your ad headline is capitalized. PPC is different because that's an abbreviation, but videos, advertisers, any level experience. Advertisers do this in a variety of channels, but that's not how most people write their sentences. We're just used to that because we work in advertising. So then what I'm going to need to do is update my headline to look more like an actual sentence. Now, another thing that Quora is going to recommend within their guidelines is to avoid uncommon abbreviations. And I do have PPC as an abbreviation. For this one, I would try letting it run. PPC is common within our industry, and there are a lot of marketing and advertising topics on the platform. But if it gets flagged, I might have to go in there and update my headline sentence one more time. After the headline sentence, we have the main body text, similar to your ad description in Google Ads or Microsoft Ads, or your primary text on Facebook. So a body text within Quora can be 105 characters long. And just like the headline sentence, you have to use proper punctuation, and you also have to avoid the title casing. So I'm just going to paste in more copy from our website. Now we have the brand name in there. We have the YouTube brand name in there. So it looks like there's some excessive capitalization within my body text, but I'm still not capitalizing every single word within this body text. So I know this one will still get approved. And then the last part of a text ad is going to be the call to action. We don't get to customize, so we have to go to the drop down. Let me scroll down a little bit, and I'll slowly go down so we can see all the options that we currently have within Quora. There are a few unique options, but we see a lot of the common ones. Sign up, free trial, learn more, start now, but we're a YouTube channel, so I'm going to pick my favorite, watch more. And then of course you would need your URL. Normally I would add all my tracking parameters added to the URL. They don't have a separate parameter template, so you would have to add it to each landing page URL. But I don't need to do that for this video. And that's it for a text ad format. If we look at the desktop preview, it's pretty basic. Same thing if I go up and switch to mobile preview. Text ads will appear on your question and answer pages, as well as the other main feeds on the homepage, specific topic feeds, and the Quora newsletter that is emailed out to users. So they'll blend right in. Because the image elements are removed from this format, there's no strong eye-popping image that can capture someone's attention. So that is why I've always preferred image ads since the day they were released. But a space for an image right next to my brand name and the sponsored mention popped up. That is going to be the space for our company logo. And then besides your company logo, you can add a main or hero image. I want to switch back to the desktop preview before we move on. And then let's scroll back down to the creative. All of the character counts for an image ad are the same as a regular text ad. 65 characters for your headline, 105 characters for the body text. Underneath the call to action, there we see the two ways that we can add images. The first is your main image or hero image, and underneath the selector button, we see the aspect ratio is 16:9, and the minimum size needs to be 600 by 335 pixels. The only accepted formats for an image is a PNG or a JPEG. So that means animated GIFs are not allowed. There will not be any movement on your ad. So I'll choose a few different images first just so you can see how it would look within the previews. I don't know the exact dimensions for this image, but we clearly see that it's a longer, wider image. So because of that, Quora framed a little bit above and below the image to slightly square it up a little more. If I go and pick a different one, which we can easily edit, and this one I took just from our YouTube channel banner, this image is closer to the 16:9 aspect ratio that Quora recommends. So because of that, there's no extra spacing in between. I still tell my clients to use the ad size that's typically done on Facebook and LinkedIn, and that is the 1200 by 628. It also makes it easier to get creative from client if they don't have to make any different dimensions and they're just using the same ones that they're already using on the other platforms. But we see in this image, there is text on the creative. Quora does not have any text rules for the images that you use. So if you want to have a specific message on the image that's going to complement your body text in your headline, you're completely free to do that. And you do not have to worry about the ad getting rejected because there's too much text on the image. So for now, I'm going to just stick with that image and let's move on to the logo. While the logo up top is a circle, you do need a square image. And the recommended size is 500 by 500 pixels. I know we have a square image that's 569 by 569, so let's see how that one looks. There's a preview of what the logo would look like, and Quora says your ads cannot run until the logo has been reviewed. And there's a link to the ads images policies when you're setting up to see why this logo could be reviewed. The biggest reason is that the photo could be too blurry. I've had that happen plenty of times where clients can't get me a logo, so I have to try to take one off of their website myself, and it's not in a good dimension, so we just had to recreate it anyway. Extremely common. But other reasons are the image is inappropriate, it's controversial, you're putting misleading information into the logo, things like that. Hopefully our faces aren't controversial, so I'm just going to save this logo. And there we see it's pending review. Once it is approved, we will see it in the preview off to the right side. And after the desktop preview, we can look at the mobile preview. You see in the mobile preview for my main image, they had to add some additional spacing. So if I don't like the way that looks, I can go back and change my image so it looks good on both desktop and mobile. Image ads will have the same placements as text ads. We mentioned home feeds, topic feeds, but there are certain placements like the Quora newsletter that are text ad only. You select your devices at the ad set level. So you can choose if you want your ads to be shown on mobile, desktop. You can definitely choose both, but then there's an extra toggle button if you want to expand the placement to the Quora newsletter. So if you are doing that setting at the ad set level, even if you're creating an image ad, Quora will automatically convert your image ad to a text ad if it is eligible to show up on the newsletter. And even besides that, you can see this warning under the preview that your ad could be displayed in a text-only format for performance optimization purposes. So even though we're creating an image ad, it's not guaranteed to be an image ad every time. So now we know the specs for the main two ad formats within Quora. Let me give you some tips and show you some strategies that I've used on previous accounts that have helped boost our click-through rate on Quora. I'm on Quora and I found this specific question. What CRM software is best for a small startup? So let's say my client is a CRM solution for small businesses or startups. One of the targeting options for Quora is to target specific questions. So we see right under that question, there is an ad. I can try to put an ad in that spot. And if I know exactly where my ad is going to be placed because I have that direct question targeting control, I can tailor my ad message to speak to users on this exact page. I can then craft my headline message to speak to users on that specific page. Remember the question was, what CRM software is best for startups? If I know one of the ad placements could potentially be right under that question, I can let users know, get the most powerful yet affordable CRM for startups. People go to Quora to research, get answers, find a solution to their questions. It pretty much is a question and answer site. So I want my ad to answer those questions. Now, question targeting can be great because it can be that specific. However, question targeting can also be too specific sometimes that you don't get any volume. So you may have to use some of the other targeting options to expand your reach. And to get a better understanding of what targeting options are out there for Quora, you can check an updated targeting video that we made earlier this year. Questions in Quora are categorized into higher level topics. And you can target those topics either contextually when the user's on those pages at that moment, or you can do more behavioral targeting. People who have interacted with questions and answers within those topics at some point within the past 30 days. When you target topics, you're not going to know exactly which questions your ads are going to appear on. Yes, you can do some research, look at those topics and see which questions appear, but you're not handpicking those exact questions. Here's another random example. Someone's looking for must-see things to do when visiting Dublin, Ireland. And if you look at related questions, similar. Tourists looking for things to do within Ireland. So let's say I'm a travel agency and I can get people going back to Ireland. I might not target this specific question. I might go for broader topics, or I might go after some behavioral targeting and go after users who are looking up travel-related questions related to Ireland. Since I know what that user has done in the past, and I'm targeting that previous behavior, I may consider creating an ad like this. I love creating headline sentences that are actual questions. It really fits the Quora platform of a question and answer site. So even if the user is not on a question or topic related to traveling to Ireland, I still know that they're interested because they've shown that behavior in the past on the platform. So I might want to trigger that feeling in their head again. Looking for an ultimate travel package to Ireland, and then I'm hitting them with a gorgeous picture, playing on the emotions and the intent that they are originally researching, to try to entice them to click on my ad and book a trip. Sometimes for my clients, I will target the competitor topics if it's a large enough company, and then have a headline sentence along the lines of, "Are you sick of poor customer service? Are you looking for new options for your XYZ? You get the point." Undermining them a little bit to make my client's brand look better. I'm looking to steal market share away from my competitors to my client. But I'm planting a seed with a question in that user's head to capture their intention and engage that user to click on my ad. And that is my goal from a first touch point. If they've had no interaction with my brand before, I'm just trying to be as engaging and helpful as possible. That's where I've seen the best performance from Quora from the very top of funnel. Now, I changed the image. No, I don't work for Expedia, never have. I just pulled one example of the first travel company I could think of. But if I'm retargeting to users, I know they've already been to my website, they've interacted with my brand before, and I know that from certain audiences, then I might switch up my ad creative or my image to really focus on my brand. I'm looking at it as if they have no previous interaction with my brand before, I'm focusing on engagement, building trust, building interest. For my retargeting audiences, that's when I feel more comfortable adding my brand logo to an image just so they're already familiar, and hopefully it sparks another fire to get them to come back and actually book. But just like anything we do in advertising, test it. Test out your variety of different headlines, test out different image creatives, and a combination of both. But since we can get really specific with our audience targeting on Quora, make sure that your message and your creative matches who you're targeting. Remember, they're here for solutions to their problems or to get answers to questions. Be that helpful solution. That is where you're going to see the best performance for your Quora ads.
Thanks for watching our video. If you found it useful, give us a thumbs up below.
We release a new video at least once a week, so if you want to see more from the Paid Media Pros channel, be sure to subscribe.